Hi, this is Marnie Pearson and Sue Painter, and we're back with the Online Business Revealed reality show, or Marnie and Sue's Peep Show, where we give you a look behind the scenes in our lives and our businesses. And today on the agenda, we're going to be talking about selecting book titles and about reinventing your business and how to bring in quick cash and whatever else we happen to come up with as we talk off the cuff here. Right, Sue?
That's right. You know, we've had several people ask us, well, we'd like to know what you're going to talk about ahead of time. But the problem with that is the whole thing about the Peep Show is we want you to peep into our businesses like what's going on right now. So we have things that come up every day, and our whole idea was just to share them with you in real time. So what we've decided to do is to try to pick some topics that are things that we've talked about in the last few days, but we're still going to talk about them totally unscripted, and then whatever comes up, if we have something that's a burning issue, we will bring that up to the forefront too. So Marnie, our first one was book title.
Right, and so Sue's working on a book, and we've been trying to bounce around some titles for that book, and we brainstormed how to get clients, what to do when people love you but don't want to pay for your transformative skills, and then we kind of morphed that into what to do when people love you but don't want to pay for your transformative skills, and then we talked about transformative work. You want to address that a little bit, the difference there?
Yeah. So this all came about because I did a webinar. I've actually done the webinar twice. I did it once last year and once this year. And the name of the webinar was Bright Shiny Energy, What to Do When People Love You But Don't Want to Pay for Your Transformative Skills. And I did that because there are so many people who offer transformative skills like body workers and energy workers and yoga teachers and life coaches who get all kinds of invitations to speak and all kinds of invitations to do free workshops, but when it comes time to actually making an offer, people don't actually buy from them. So I decided, because it was a very popular webinar, that I was going to turn that into a book, and actually Marnie is helping me do that. So I started thinking about, well, I don't know if too many people know what Bright Shiny Energy is, so let's drop that out of the title. And Marnie came up with some ideas, and I came up with some ideas. I actually took it over to Paul Evans, with whom I coach, and got his ideas. And Marnie, some of the things I think about when I look at book titles is it's going to be on Kindle on the Amazon platform, so what are the keywords that people might search on when they're looking for a book about how to sell transformative services or transformative work? And so I was thinking about what would a person type into Amazon to look for that kind of a book. And I don't know if you have any ideas about that. I mean, I think they're just going to still probably type in how to make sales or how to have sales conversations or how to make offers. What do you think they'll type in?
Maybe something like how to get clients, or yeah, that kind of thing.
Clients is a good one, yeah. So the whole thing is we were trying to figure out a title for the book that was really keyword searchable, because to me that's one thing you should do when you're looking at the title of your book. So that's if you're thinking about doing actually any title, because titles really need to be compelling. Remember, we talked in our Peep Show a week ago about we were actually picking what to go to at NAMS in Atlanta based on what the titles were of the sessions. And if you had a bad title, even if you had great content, nobody was going to come see you. So Marnie, if I were going to say to you, what are the best keywords to use, you would say to me, how to get clients, and maybe sales conversations, or what are there other keywords you would think about?
Yeah, how to get customers, how to get clients, how to make money in energy work, business. I mean, you can narrow it down to super, you know, what kind of business they're in as well, and that could be secondary keywords somehow.
Yeah, yeah. So I think what we've decided to do, or I've decided to do, is title the book so that it does have that phrase, how to get clients or how to increase your income, how to make more money helping people, because most of the time when you have a transformative service or business, you're in the business of helping people do something, whether it's be more alive mentally or physically or spiritually. So we'll keep you posted about what the title of the book is going to end up being, but it's going to be something right around that. And we just wanted to kind of pull back the curtains and give you guys a little peep into what goes through our minds when we're thinking about how to title something. And of course, I wanted to nail it down because I need to go ahead and register the copyright for this book. I always recommend that if it's something you're going to I don't copyright every single solitary thing I do because I write so much, but if it's something I'm going to publish, I definitely will copyright it. And that has come in handy for me before because I have had other people try to rob off my work. So always make sure you're copywriting something you're publishing. Marnie, did you have anything more to say about that topic?
Well, I wanted to say one thing is once you narrow it down to a couple titles, Sue, I think you ought to put it out on your Facebook and say which title do y'all like best, because I've gotten some really good feedback from posting my possible titles to Facebook. People will give you an idea. They'll give you what they're thinking when you say, like if you said transformative business, some people might not think what you think, you know.
That's true. That's true. That's a good idea. Okay. Which brings up another whole topic. I don't know about you, and this is totally off the cuff, but I don't know about you, but I have been trying on my Facebook page, my business page, not my profile, to ask little short questions so that I can get feedback from people. And today I just asked a question, are you in the middle or have you ever reinvented your business, yes or no? I had like 80 people see it, and only one person would put in the yes or the no. It's like, what is that? People won't even take the time to give you a yes or no on Facebook anymore. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if this asking the question will work, but I'll try it and see what I get. Have you noticed that on Facebook, that less people are making comments to questions?
You know, I've noticed it on business pages.
Yeah.
If I post to my personal pages, I get comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I get more likes, so yeah.
Yeah, I have that same experience. Okay, well, let's see. What was another one we were going to talk about today? We were going to talk
about reinventing your business.
Yeah, reinventing. Yeah. So one thing Marnie and I want to know from you guys is if you do feel like you're in the throes of reinvention, I don't know if it's in the water or if it's in the air or what, but everybody we know seems to be looking at their business and looking at switching things around a little bit. So we're thinking about starting to offer maybe a workshop or a virtual seminar, Marnie and I, about how to go about reinventing your business. And then Marnie was looking at taking a shift in her business, and I always am looking at how I can shift mine to meet the market a little better too. So Marnie, do you want to tell a little bit about that story?
I've been helping people with getting their messages out online and stuff like that, and I've kind of come at it from the perspective of if I help what I call light bearers, the people with big audiences, get their messages out, that then my influence can filter through them out to the world, and it'll make the impact that I want to make with my message. And Sue pointed out to me, you're doing it backwards. You know, if you really want to get your message out, you've got to convey your message really loud, really clear, get that out, keep getting it out through articles, blogs, videos, whatever it takes to convey my message. And then as I do that, it will attract to me the people who believe what I believe, as Simon Sinek says, if you've ever watched Simon Sinek's TED Talk, people do business with you based on that they believe what you believe. You know, so she's saying lead with that belief, lead with that message, and then I'll attract to me the people that resonate with that, and then they will hire me from there. So it was kind of she's like, turn it around, turn it upside down.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're Marnie has really a movement where she wants to teach people how they can always help themselves be led to what it is they want to create, and how they can create that using spirit, and I mean, it's fabulous what she does and the ability that she has to do that. So that's a big message. And so instead of converting one by one her belief, it's like take that message bigger, and then the clients will come to you from that, instead of looking for the clients and then hoping that they will help you get your message out too. So it's like you have to be a model. You have to be the messenger, and then you can also show other people who will be your clients that you've done that. And so I thought that was a cool thing how we looked at it and realized that the business model was actually kind of a smaller thinking business model and a safer business model, but if we flipped it on its head and went to the masses first, it helped with visibility and with social proof really quickly, and it helped get the word out a lot more quickly. And it also matches the big message that Marnie has inside of her that she knows that she can teach people to do. So sometimes you really think you're doing a great thing with a certain business model, but then as it turns out, you're not so much. You have to really look at what is it that you want to get in the end result, and is that model big enough to take you there? Or are you thinking too small? You've got this big vision, you're trying to achieve it with a tiny little business model, and then that won't work. So we had this interesting conversation that we just wanted to share with you, because that is something that's really hard for yourself. You don't see it yourself. Like Marnie has said to me before, well, you're doing this, and then I can't remember now what we were talking about, Marnie, but you're doing it this way, and if you flip it around and do it the other way, it's going to be so much easier for you. So you have to really look at that, and it's hard to see that in your own head because you're kind of in your own box already. So, and Marnie, before we go off to the next question, I did want to let people know we have people live today on the show, and you can hit that little question thing on your screen, and you can write in, submit a question, and they will appear for us over here on my screen, and we'll answer them for you. So if you have a question, go ahead and write it in now. Okay, so Marnie, back to you. Now, what is our third thing that we thought we would kick around a little bit today?
How to bring in quick cash.
Oh, yeah, quick cash. Yeah. So everybody needs quick cash now and then. Sometimes I like quick cash if I'm going to pay for a trip, or if Bill and I decide we want to go to New York for the weekend, or if we want to make a bigger down payment on a property that we're buying, or, you know, Christmas is coming, any one of a number of things. So we all people who market online have these times when they want to increase their cash. Right, Marnie? That happens to you too? You have these times when, yeah. So yes. We started kicking around ideas of how could we do that? And, you know, the thing to know about business is you've only got 3 ways to make money. You can sell more to your existing clients of what they've already bought. You can sell something new and different to your existing clients that you create that's new, or you can go out and find new clients. And Marnie and I both know that the most expensive thing to do is option number 3. Right, Marnie?
That's right. Unless you have a good friend like Sue.
So really, if you want quick cash, the first thing to do is, do you have clients existing who could buy more of what they've already bought, or could buy something different than what you have offered them in the past, rather than going out and searching for new clients? So we had this conversation, and Marnie, you want to talk a little bit about how we thought about what it is that you have to offer and the breadth of everything you have to offer, and how you could just change it around a little bit, and then you could go out and get the cash you wanted for first of the school year stuff?
Right. This kind of came out of the same conversation about my big message, and you were talking about really one of my strengths is the implementation of the big idea. You have the dream, you have the vision, the message you want to get out, and how do you implement that from there, and the technology piece and everything. So Sue's like, well, why don't you offer these services of helping people take their big vision and really implement it? So she posted a little thing on her Facebook page and said, you know, I know somebody who can do such and so, and people started contacting her, so I put up a page to explain it, and it's worked out really well. So.
Yeah. And the other thing, talk a little bit about how quickly you put up the page and how you decided what to put on that page, because that is exactly the flexibility that we have as entrepreneurs. We have the ability to take action quickly, put up a sales page, make an offer, and just out of thin air, we can make sales that will increase that bank account and bring that cash flow in. So, Marnie, you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I was so proud of you for not taking 3 weeks to decide what that sales page should say. It is really all about implementation.
Yeah, I got in my mind the ideal client, the perfect person that I would want to work with in this kind of environment. And I wrote to that person. That person is a trailblazing entrepreneur. They have lots of ideas. They need help implementing them, but they'd like to just be able to hand it off to somebody, let somebody implement it while they move on to the next idea. So I wrote it specifically to that type of person, and then told them a little of my background, you know, the big sites and big projects I've done, and told them the different, you know, aspects that I could implement, from Facebook advertising to, you know, their WordPress or their one shopping cart or whatever. and then just told them, contact me if you're interested. So I didn't bother with a buy button. I'm going to have a conversation and handpick these people anyway, because I've only got a spot for, 2, 3 of them probably tops. So I wrote it to that exact audience. And the interesting thing is that I actually had somebody sign up, the ideal client sign up for it without ever looking at that page. On the same day I posted it, they contacted me and said, I want to hire you to do X, Y, Z. And she hadn't even seen the page. And I didn't even offer it to her. It was really interesting. Talk about clarity. And and spiritual creation, the co-creating that I talk about.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And what I really love about it is that you wrote that with, as you say, with your specific ideal person in mind. So it was almost like you were writing a letter or a sales page or a letter to them. And that really helped you get clear, but not only that, it helped the people who are reading it get clear to be able to say, this is for me. This is something that I really could use from her. And I thought that it was a cool idea that we came up with because people really need help with implementation. And actually, Marnie and I have been having this conversation a lot anyway. We see a lot of our clients and a lot of people who are not our clients but who are still in the online community purchase programs and download free stuff and get all just overwhelmed with all of the material that is available, either free or paid, either one. But then they don't actually ever take that and do anything with it. It's like the implementation is what is suffering. So sometimes, and I have always said, you can read a huge book, but until you sit down in front of your computer and you actually try to put up a sales page, or you actually try to write copy for something, or you actually decide that you're going to do a webinar, you have to be in the throes of implementation before you even really realize that sometimes just reading it on paper isn't going to be the thing. Now, Marnie's better at sitting down and figuring out things than I am. I have that stuff to read, but I like to go and actually have somebody show me exactly what I need to know in the moment. So that's just different learning styles, I guess. But this whole thing about implementation, people really need that. They need that kind of done-with-you help. And that's what Marnie's offering. So, Marnie, actually, do you have that link? You ought to let people know in case they want to take a look at what it is you're offering.
Probably the easiest way to find it is go to marniepearson.com, click on Done For You, and the top link on that page will take you to it. Okay.
That's cool. Anything else you want to talk about today before we end? We haven't gone quite half an hour, but we really don't have to go a certain amount of time. So, Marnie, what else is on your brain?
Well, I think we need to let them know where they can get our notifications of new episodes.
Okay.
So they don't miss out. And they can also send in questions ahead of time, right?
Yes. You can send questions ahead of time to info@confidentmarketer.com. info@confidentmarketer.com. And then our next, if you want to mark your calendar, our next Peep show is going to be next Monday. And let's see, it seems like to me that 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Is that correct, Marnie?
Yes, 2 Eastern, 1 Central.
1 Central, yeah. So you can mark it down, and then if you are on our list, you will get a notification of the link of how to join us live. And I don't have that link actually in front of me. Do you have it as confidentmarketer.com/Peep Show? Oh, /Peep Show. If you want to always be invited to these and also get the replays as well, then you need to go to confidentmarketer.com/Peep Show, P-E-E-P, Peep Show. We're letting you peep into our businesses, and you leave your name and your email address, and then you will always get an email notification about when the Peep shows are, and also the links to all the different ones. And there are program notes below each one, so you can see what we've talked about. If it's not of interest to you, you can skip over that one and go to the next one. So this is Sue Painter and Marnie Pearson signing off from the Online Business Reality Show, Marnie and Sue's Peep Show. We will see you again next week, and until then, go out and make something happen great in your business. Bye-bye. Bye.